Hello, and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin. We take a look at the Bitcoin chart from an Elliott Wave point of view, and this is the daily chart. Okay, so on the daily chart, we still see this trend line. I think I talked about it in the first video today. If I didn't, I definitely shared it with gold members earlier today that I highlighted. I'm observing this trend line, and we could find some support here at this trend line. The price is currently finding some support and already showed a small reaction. It's just an additional trend line I'm observing in addition to the Elliott Wave patterns. Not so meaningful, can easily break. If it breaks, it might send us back into the lower support region. It's just an additional data point, but in addition to that, I'm observing also the micro support levels on the 1 hour chart. So this price is moving just sideways at the moment from a perspective of the daily chart. You see, people already talk about the bear market again. That was different a few days ago. Okay, it's crazy how these candles can change sentiment. Essentially, not much happened for the last few months. I think it's like, what, 15, 16 weeks now? Nearly 100 days, actually. Nearly 100 days we've been moving sideways now without much action. A little bit of down, a little bit of up. Yeah, maybe a little bit of down is going to follow, then a little bit of upward movement. Bear in mind that wave 4s can turn into triangles. Yeah, we haven't even talked about that yet. I think it's important to realize that before we actually had this breakout to the upside, we had a similar range. At the time, this was called a wave 2. And if you just look at the length here, I mean, this wave 2, this was like 150 days. So really, we could spend a few more weeks in the sideways consolidation, all right? So this can be used for range trading, as I mentioned many times before. And from all the cryptocurrencies, I would say Bitcoin is the most reliable one to trade because it gives you the clearest patterns, yeah? And the altcoins are mostly following, but they still move in their own patterns. You see that, like, Jasmine chart looks completely different to the XRP chart, for example, right? And some people still say, but that's become far less because people get more educated. But there are still people who say that you only need to look at Bitcoin and you know what the altcoins are doing. Well, no, it's just not the case. Of course, there are tendencies. Of course, there are correlations, but sometimes there are more correlations, sometimes less. And still, to which degree the individual coins are moving, that really depends on the individual chart and the wave pattern they are moving in. At the moment, there is still downside pressure. Bitcoin has not confirmed that a low has formed here in any way. We're still moving down, okay? At least not on the daily chart, but on the 1 hour chart. So we're going to take a look at that in a minute. But I just want to share with you, I mean, even just mentally, even though this is an overall bullish structure we're tracking, but really we are still in a correction. And I have to say that clearly, okay? We are still in a correction. We're moving sideways, and wave 4s are just like that. They are corrections. So we are basically, what hasn't changed on this chart is this support area for the last 2 to 3 months. This has been here, could have been used to scale in. Okay, we're now coming back. There could be another opportunity. People should be happy about it if they trade the range. Okay, and only below 50,700 really this structure starts to fail, and would be the first break of support on the daily time frame that we've had, as far as I can remember, since December 22. Okay, so really from a relevant Fibonacci support zone point of view, and yeah, you know, that would be our signal that it's going down, right? That would be our signal, and I'd say people need to come away from, you know, getting disappointed if something breaks, or, you know, see it as a signal, right? See it as a signal. If support breaks, I mean, that doesn't automatically give you a short trade setup, but it tells you that, okay, you know, the chart is just changing direction. So as traders, investors, we have to adjust, right? You always have to have a plan. Okay, what might that mean? I've seen it today. I mean, the altcoins, they haven't even sold off massively, but people still get very emotional. I mean, it comes down to, do you have a plan when you enter a trade, right? Do you have a plan when you if you don't have a plan when you enter a trade, then you don't know what you're going to do if the market is doing this or that. So you need to know when you want to get out of a trade. I mean, that should be very first thing people think about, okay, when you enter any trade, leveraged or not leveraged, do you have a plan? And if you don't, you shouldn't take that trade, right? It's not good if you enter a trade, the price goes down and you ask what you should do. No, you need to answer that for yourself before you enter the trade. Then you never get frustrated, right? So yeah, but that's still an unchanged perspective here. We could be in this fifth wave to the downside. Nothing is broken. The price has actually today reached my target we talked about in the earlier video today. So not only the trend line, but we're going to take a look at that on the 1 hour chart now. But yeah, could still do a turnaround from here, start the rally in the C wave. But that is a potential. What it needs to give us here is a first small 5-wave rally, 3-wave pullback, like the 1-2 setup of that wave C of 3. So let's go to the 1 hour chart. Before we do that, a quick reminder, there's still a poll running on X, Twitter. Depends on you if you want to let Pyth win or not. Ha. Obviously, you can vote for not as well, or Rune or ARB. Those are the coins that people asked for basically this week. Most of you guys on X. So here's the poll, and tomorrow I'll do a video specifically on X, just about the coin that actually won. Okay, and also don't forget to sign up for the newsletter, which I'm going to send out tomorrow. I'm not going to make it today, but tomorrow. So Saturday at some point. You can still register for the newsletter. You'll find the link in the description, completely for free. Gives you a few additional updates about different markets and crypto and so on. So check it out if you're interested. Now let's go to the 1 hour chart. This is a 4 hour first, but it just shows you that sideways range that we now already discussed in detail. Looking at the 1 hour chart, So the market moved down today. I think what we need to do now is just adjust basically the pattern here. What we can do is take the immediate white count out. And what I promised to you earlier today is I will take out the white count and change the color of the blue count to white because it's easier to read. So we can just do that now. I find that better to do that in a video together with you, because then you are up to date. Sometimes when people watch the previous video, then they watch the new one and things have changed slightly, but it's just changing the colors. I just want to explain it to you. So in the previous video, I highlighted to you that I'm expecting and that was already said a couple of days ago, expecting the third wave to come down into this white target area, ideally to 64,910 or 64,508. Now it missed it by a few dollars, but it got very, very close. It's possible that this was wave C of 3. Then it is possible that now a wave 4 is unfolding. It moved already into the wave 4 resistance area. I'm going to take a look at that in a minute. And then we could still get one more low in wave 5 of C, of Y, of B. We could still get one more low. We're still moving in this descending price channel. We're still moving in very, very awkward corrective patterns. Not very clear to me what exactly this is. But as I said, it is possible that this is the count, a B wave pullback in a third wave rally, as long as we're holding 62,540. So that's really here the lower boundary of the upper micro support. Anything below that will indicate that we are entering back in a larger wave 4 into the lower support region. So at the moment, the idea is wave 4, which is the correction that started on the 14th of March, 13th of March. This finished on the 1st of May. And I'm following the trend up because the trend is still up. Okay, we're still forming higher highs, higher lows. Now, it needs to hold, however, 62,540 for that. So any break below that will indicate no, wave 4 didn't finish. We are still in the wave 4. So the question is not so much what is the price going to do. The question is more, do you have a plan for both scenarios? What does it mean for you and your portfolio if the price moves up directly from here? And also, what does it mean for your portfolio if the price dips back into the lower support region? Because both are likely scenarios. But there is a pivot that stands between them, which is 62,540. Now, in the very short term, what I need to see now is a 5-wave move to the upside, followed by a 3-wave pullback. A second. Okay. That hasn't happened. Okay. So we have instead seen a rally. And I highlighted earlier today already on on Discord that we need to see a sustained break above 66,180 for an early indication that, well, this C wave has bottomed. I would now say it probably has bottomed because it moved up too high for anything else, but that's just the wave C of 3. So it's possible that we're now working on wave 4, which could over the weekend maybe develop a triangle or something. Yeah, that's sort of my idea, that we might now be in the wave 4. But this is literally just unreliable micro counting. And if this really is now a wave 4, yeah, it might spend the Saturday moving sideways. Or maybe it's doing the wave 5 straight away. Either way, 67,160 is now key resistance here. And that is resistance for wave 4. Okay, for this larger degree wave 4. So that's my update about Bitcoin. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Also make sure that you follow us on Instagram and Twitter for additional content. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.